Now in this subject, so first I'll different questions that are related to basic computer terminology, basic internet terminology, and some of the terms that are related to the digital technology in higher education. They're also coming. Now, after seeing the different questions in previous papers, so some of the questions are coming from the basic computer structure. So computer is a device, so which will take input, and that is going to give us output as far as we know. But what is to be studied as a overview? So what are various types of input devices, and what is the role of control unit, and what is the role of CPU, and what is output, what are various output devices. Now input devices are the devices through which we are going to give inputs. So some of the examples you can see: keyboard, mouse, joystick, light pen, scanner. So we have different types of inputs. And the output, one best example for output is printer and a monitor and a plotter. Now the major role as far as process is concerned, the major role is played by CPU. CPU, which means central process unit. So which processes the entire processing of data into input. Now CPU is consisting of three major elements. One, memory unit, second one, control unit, third one is arithmetic logical unit. Now control unit monitors and controls the entire functioning of the functioning of the computer and its processes. And ALU performs small mathematical calculations. ALU full form is arithmetic logical unit. And one thing we need to study is memory unit. Now, when we are going to study this memory unit, in the concept called memory, we have two types of memory. One primary, second one is secondary. So primary memory, the memory which is already inbuilt with the computer. So secondary memory, which we are going to add to the major device. So when we are going to study primary memory, we have again two to three important concepts to be understood. One, RAM, which you may call it as volatile memory. So as long as power is there, that memory will be recorded. That memory will be there on the surface, let us say. Now once the power is off, the entire memory will be lost. Again, it has to start from beginning. That is the reason why RAM or random access memory is called as volatile memory. Another memory is there through which booting and other things done. ROM, read-only memory. So ROM, PROM, and electronically programmable read-only memory. These are all different types in ROM. RAM, ROM. And the secondary memory is through hard disks, pen drives, and all these things will come. Now, when you are going to study the entire system of computer, what is input device? Different types of input device like keyboard, mouse, joystick, light pen. Even nowadays, the monitor is also touchpad, is also touch screen is also acting as input device. And the role of memory unit: what is RAM, what is ROM, uh, PROM, EPROM, and EEPROM. And away from this, we have one more word called cache memory. So cache memory is a memory. There are some, let us take some laptops or softwares. They're a bit slower, but we can observe as soon as we type, after a fraction of seconds, whatever we type will be displayed on the screen. Now during this process, the information has to be stored somewhere else. So even after typing for, let us take after 1 second or 2 seconds, you will see the display is coming, not immediately. So during that period, whatever you type through keyboard will be saved in cache memory. So that memory, we are calling it as cache memory. So this is one question that is frequently coming. And the second element that generally questions are coming is networking, or a computer network through which computers in a particular entity or in a particular location are connected to each other. Now, the purpose of communication network is only to communicate. So, media is different through which you are going to send the message. That is different. But communication network is how the systems or network is connected for the purpose of communication between one place to other place, or one entity to another entity. Now, when we are going to study this computer network concept, we have three types of networks. One, LAN, local area network. Second one, MAN, metropolitan area network. Third one, wide area network. So, the basic difference between these three is the scope of coverage. So, LAN will happen in a short span of area, in a short area. Let us take two buildings in a location, three buildings in a location. Now this is particularly which is going to use internet protocol, IP address, for communication between various computers. Now again, if you are going to study LAN, there are different type of formats, layouts that are used to connect the computers. But basically, LAN connects the networking devices within a short span of area. Example, small offices, uh, 2 to 3 buildings, like that. Next one is MAN, in between LAN and WAN. Let us take the network is covering one metropolitan city or a city. Now that type of network we are calling it as metropolitan area network. Let us take in the entire city you have your offices and networking areas. Now you need to connect all these things. For that you are going to use this network called metropolitan area network. Third one is WAN, wide area network. Now what will happen? Small LANs in different locations that work with IP address. When they are connected globally, so we are calling it as wide area network, which is applicable for larger physical distances. Even overseas also you can connect with the help of this WAN. Now, so you can see a WAN is geographically dispersed collection of LANs. A network device called router connect LANs to a WAN. In IP networking, the router maintains both the LAN address and WAN address. So wide area network, you can cover very big geographical distances also. So this is one area to be focused on, computer network and the types of computer network. And some of the questions are coming from computer languages. So in general, every human being will have a language. Let us take every animal will have a language. Even though even like that, computers will also have a language, but we call that language as machine language. Machine language, and the language that is taken by computer, we consider it as binary language, which is in the form of zeros and ones. So whatever data you enter, that will be stored into the computer or processed into the computer as 0 to 1. but what is seen, whatever we type, that is seen. So it takes machine language and transforms it into the language that we see, or whatever output we are expecting. And another important element you need to understand in this category is modem. So modem, the full form of modem is modulator, demodulator. Now, what will this modulator, demodulator do? It will convert digital signals into analog signals, and analog signals to digital signal. So let us take, so a modem, you need to understand digital signals will be sending in the form of analog signals. So you can, so digital signals will be in the form of zeros and ones, analog signals will be in the form of the fluctuated sawtooth wave, like that. Now, for high level languages, you will use compilers. So, these three are general questions that are coming from most of the papers. And another area, especially we need to study, is storage devices. So, basically, we have two types of storage devices. Primary, we have already seen RAM and ROM, and we need to study specifically about secondary storage devices. So secondary storage devices can be removable, they may be internal, or they may be external. Now, secondary storage devices were again classified into three categories. One is magnetic storage, second one optical devices, third one is flash memory. Now, under magnetic storage category, we are going to get a hard disk drives, HDDs, tape cassettes, and floppy disks. Optical devices, what will happen? It uses light. It uses light and laser to write this data on the CD or DVD. We call this process as burning. So in computer terminology, so writing on the CD or DVD, we call it as burning the data. And even in CDs or DVDs, we have CD read only, again CD rewritable to some number of times, DVD read only, DVD read and writable again. So different types of optical devices are also available, and CD's capacity is 700 MB. DVD you can save up to more than 4 GB. And another type of memory that was classified is flash memory. So in flash memory, you can go for formatting, and again you can keep the data again. You can go for format. So some of the flash memory examples are memory cards, pen drives, flash drives, etc. Now, so computer language is one concept you need to focus on. Storage devices is one concept you need to focus on. And some of the questions they are coming from file extension. So generally we look these things, but we may not seriously see these are all important. We do not know, but some of the questions are coming from these file extension concepts also. So a file extension or a file name extension is the ending of a file that helps identify the type of file in OS, such as Microsoft Windows. So what is this file extension? It is a 3-character addition that follows a file. So whenever you are saving a file, obviously it is saved with the help of an extension for the record purpose. So that extension, we are calling it as file extension. So let us see. So whenever you are going to save, obviously they will save with the help of these formats. So some of the examples we took here. One is .txt, .doc. So doc generally it is for 97 to 2003 format. Docx. So in 2007, if you are going to save, you will get docx format. So .txt